So the Fed minutes sending the market into a bit of a craze this afternoon. We'll talk about exactly why coming up. Welcome back to the close. 1 hour left to go in the day. 0.25% here for the S&P, 0.34 for the Dow, the NASDAQ basically back to flat. But they're talking tapering, guys, and possibly a little sooner than expected. It's worth noting the Fed meeting happened back in July, so we have to kind of keep that in mind as we go forward here. It feels like a lot has happened since then. Let's get into the last hour.
Well, a lot has happened since then, clearly. Now, the market did its thing when the number came out. It went up, it went down, it went around, and then it's just, ultimately still not actually doing much overall. That's why you look at the individual symbols that are moving. This entire time I got shaken out of PMCB, just a few minutes ago on a long. It's just barcoding, but watch out. Sgoc is on the move to the upside again after flushing $3 from the top. This stock is on the run. It's at about $7 here, trying to get to that magical 750 level where there was a lower high. So there's plenty of individual names moving, but the Fed number was just like whippy, up and down, a little bit of action there.
Yeah, that tends to always be the case. Welcome, guys, to the fastest 60 minutes, now 59, now 58 and change on YouTube. So thank you for joining us one more time here again today. And yeah, we're back every day, to be honest with you. So here's AMC today. Good trade for us. It's going to be our trade of the day. Busted through 38, top there at 38.60, as Neil says, top, and then that's that. So that's a good one. We got the highest price all day for AMC. So yeah, that's a good one. We'll jump for that. And then we basically have the bottom of the day here for AMC, which happened right away there. And unfortunately, we didn't double up there. We should have down there at 36 and change, missed it. And now we're looking at this break one more time or another bid down here at 36. So a nice little trade there for AMC for sure. We had that. And then also, I did want to check on Vrpx again. Someone messaged me about saying they were stuck at about 29. I said, this is not a horrible level right here, 26, to get a little bit out. If you are stuck on that, it has a nice move right now, Vrpx. And remember also, it's an FDA play, right? So the more, maybe they get the approval at some point. Who knows how long that will take? And I think that's really what's going to matter here is you're playing with the devil if you're waiting for an FDA approval. And that's the only thing because, we saw what happened with Cess in there when they missed, went from, what was it, $7 or
it was like
$4?
$6
yeah,
to
86 cents or something, and now right back. So, bad things can happen when you miss, but great things, as you can see today, can happen when you don't. So, this is not a bad spot. If anyone's caught up here in Vrpx, you just get some reprieve right now. I think VWAP is a nice spot to get out as well, but right there you have it. Anybody stuck there, you're right back to sort of where we were when all this chaos happened at about 28 and change. So there's a couple nice longs there. I haven't touched it all afternoon. I did like the 25 short, but that's Vrpx just on some quick talk.
Yeah, and like this 28, even if it gets to there, could be a bit of a trend. I know it's VWAP as well, but pulling it right back, this was $12 in yesterday's action. So, if things go bad, cutting in half is very possible. And the runner that it was in yesterday's action. So this PMCB, which is, there was no actual news on PMCB here, guys, but it just bounced again. I told you I had just gotten stopped out of some longs. They were pretty good off of 780, and then I got a great dip at 770, made some money here. Looked a gift horse in the mouth, unfortunately. Could have had it all for the 50-cent win, and then took the hit through 750. It's now back up into this range, so I'm sitting it out till we break 850 or retest the 7 low. PCMB's been a good one, but crazy whippy action throughout the afternoon with some of these downward red candles that you see here. Brendo?
Another one from this morning, guys. This ALFI, ALF on the NASDAQ, ticking back to the upside. You can see volume coming back in late in the day here. It broke above 10 after not being able to trade below 920 for the entire midday session. So a little bit of volume on ALF, guys.
So Palantir was sketchy. As you said, people talking about Palantir was sketchy early. I'm saying long, 23.75 if we tested it. And if you see down here, we tested exactly 23.75 down here, and that's where we got long. And then, we got out most of it because Palantir hasn't run 7-8% very recently. Not even on earnings day did it make really a move like this. So now it comes all the way to the up, and then we did hold a little bit to get out back here once 50 broke, which at the time looked like a decent level down. That's where we're at right now. So whether or not I hold it the whole way or whether or not I get out at this point, we're at the same now. So we get out there at 52. That was a good hold for me on Palantir. And again, no real reason why this thing, well, I couldn't see why anyways today. today. I asked Brendan about it. We did bounce off the 50-period moving average. We didn't get any news. I wasn't able to find anything. So Palantir, like I said, I still was thinking that 28 was coming. I thought it was going to be here off this earnings. We got as high as about 26, which is right where we got today. So I still have 28 targets here for Palantir. Glad to give them to you. I mean, we gave them to you at 21, 22. So right there, that's a nice little move to the upside on PLTR today. We'll look to see. I don't want to fade this move into the day, but you know, we could give it up a little bit here if we do crack down below this 25.40. But Palantir today, all about price action, man. We're gonna put a video out on price action, and I mean, this was it. Like, no need to look at charts or anything. Just hold this all the way until we finally got some consolidation here, and that was the spot that we decided. You guys know, on the way up, man, we had this consolidation. We talked about breaking through 25. That never really happened, only a couple pennies. And then I kept changing my out all the way up, and then eventually, well, not with a trailing stop, just with a physical stop, looking at the charts. But then we finally found one, and then we got out of our Palantir. So that's a good trade. I'll talk about Tilray when we get back.
And PCMB just had a battle. Like, it was sitting 24 by 25 for a couple, I mean, not a couple of minutes, but a few long seconds there with a stacked bid and a stacked offer. This wick up here is going to give you like just shy of that 850 level. This is 844. After the halt, downward halt, the top here in this move was 840 as well. So you start thinking about that as a bit of a stop. Just went parabolic into the upside. And look, when that battle got waged and the bid got taken out, I just jumped into the short at 22 here. And I'll work it maybe down towards the 750 area VWAP. Likely get a bunch out here if you get an 8 break, just to make sure that we can actually take some profit here. You never, like I say, you never want to look a gift horse in the mouth. ALF, I wanted to see it test to 11 before jumping in. Looks like it's stalling out at about 1050 or so. And then SGOC, another one that's a big mover. This, look, if it breaks $7, fantastic. You're looking for a move into 750. But for now, this is barcoding. The volume is actually decreasing. You guys can see here, the volume has been decreasing. If this were to pass back down through 660, I'd look for a breakdown short. So, if it breaks 7, fair enough. I'm looking for a 660 break on Sgoc. Right now, look at the level 2 on, not PCMB, but on SGOC. I've seen this on a few names, where like someone's just stacking like 100, 200 share orders to make a level look bigger when stock is doing absolutely nothing. I saw it on Robinhood a few minutes ago. I've seen it on Sgoc. I saw it a couple times on PCMB. Anyway, someone's just playing games. Most of it seems like utter nonsense, and some algos just making stocks look like they have more liquidity than is real. Brendan?
Pretty impressive chart here. No movement whatsoever for lows, guys. I mean, we had a little tiny downtick there during the Fed minutes, but right back towards the highs here for lows, up 10, almost 11%, but holding, more importantly, above 200 and near day highs.
Yikes. Yeah, lows not even really on either.
Timing's going to be bad.
Go ahead.
Oh, my thing didn't work. I hit one.
What were you trying to do?
Oh, I'm trying to do the whiz one. And well, I was about to say the timing's going to be bad because I hit my whiz and it didn't do anything.
Not
so
working there,
our stream decks aren't working. The timing's bad because
Probably
we're talking
Valeria
about lows, which I don't think I was interested in trading. And I took one short and stopped out for like $1.50 on a tight stop and never had any longs and lows. But the rollover just worked on PMCB. PMCB, when I got that 22, when that battle got waged.
So you did trade lows today?
7.9. Yeah, I got one trade.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
But I'm like, remember what we said in the pre-market? We're just like, it's not that exciting. I go, if it gets to this level, I'll take a short. And if it goes all the way, I forget even what the bid was. It was a ridiculously low bid that I didn't think would come in. I'll do a dip buy.
Right,
and then I don't do anything until it's already like made like monster moves. And it's like, okay, didn't think it would be that active. Certainly, obviously, the reverse is true. PCMB working down towards VWAP. Now, I got stopped out before at 750, and look what happened. It then clustered at that price. So I'd expect I need to be taking the rest of this out in front of that 750 level. That's a long way of saying it. I got the breakdown in SGOC, 57s. It just went right back up into the mid-60s. So I'll give that a little bit of space. Looking for a similar rollover to PMCB here. Both these stocks up. But in this particular case here, PMCB, ever since the last halt to the upside, since then, it has been plagued by these massive downward selling candles and nothing to the upside. There's 1, 2, 3 on a minute chart, 4 of them now. So I'm kind of favoring the short until it actually shows some real speed and momentum to the upside because most of the harsh moves have been down on PMCB.
We got the thumbs up, so let's see if it is true. There it is. Thank you, Lucas. Always working hard. And honestly, I mean, the amount of knowledge these guys have about our systems is unbelievable because I've seen from day one watching Lucas come here and basically like a deer in headlights. I think we all were with this.
I don't have any idea how that crap works.
With this equipment, and then now these guys are crushing it. So thank you so much to Lucas for doing that for us. So I just want to review some lows here because I don't know why I missed this, or I mean, I do know why. We can talk about it. I can rewind it, and I wasn't super excited because I saw Home Depot the other day miss, and then I didn't really like the Walmart action yesterday. So I remember why, but I mean, you dipped right back into these February highs, of 180. So that was one indication right there that maybe that could have been some support. So we could have gone long against this 178, 180. So that, that would have been the first play. And then, we only, again, I guess that's probably why. If I'm going to go long against 178 and it's at 188, I'm not giving this trade $10. So, but then here we go. I just want to look at this as well because there's the break of the pre-market high, and it doesn't even happen. Like, this is a 1 minute chart. It doesn't even happen right away. Like, you could have just let this absorb, see that there's momentum going, and then crack this like 192, which was that pre-market high, and then it's like, see ya, boom, straight up to the upside at that point, and then, everything else, you didn't even have to worry about this trade, as right now it's barcoding and barcoding higher, like Brendan mentioned here. So I'm not going to take a long. We did that on Target yesterday, where we battled this thing well, not all afternoon, but during the show, we battled Lowe's and now, Target. So I'm not going to do that to Lowe's. But again, if it does give up the ghost here at 200, I mean, no surprise that 200 sort of been the dropping point here. 199 it got down to. So we'll look to see if Lowe's cracks through 200, but that's not a horrible spot, guys, and a great trade there for anybody that went long Lows. I mean, I was not thinking that we had an 11% move today. So, hey, sometimes it even shocks us.
It was such a harsh move down yesterday, and I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll think about shorting it if it goes to 201. And then it did rather quickly, and I didn't really observe how it was going into the price. I was just like, if it gets there, I'm going to short it, and that's exactly what happened. It's a ridiculously tight stop that I had in. But I did want to show you guys something on Fed Day because this is a good learning experience. Remember we said it's whipsaw action when the Fed numbers come out? Sometimes it doesn't matter if it's a stock that's related to interest rates or has any bearing on it. It doesn't make a difference. But I can tell you, if you have stop orders in when you get some of those movements, there was a reversal in the market, like right at about like 213, 214, 215 around this time when I was basically sitting in a Robinhood trade, and I had to stop in just in case it was going to break 50. I was doing something else at the time. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then there was a big reversal in the futures during the whipsaw action after the meeting minutes came out, stopped me out, and then came right back up. So that's a situation where, while the minutes are out, if you don't want to be involved in that, I could have simply closed the trade at flat and then waited for things to settle back out and then jump back into the trade. So that's one good approach. If you don't want to be trading around 2 o'clock, like, in that, I guess, 10 to 15 minutes when they're sort of hashing things out after, digesting the minutes or whatever it might be, you can always sit that time out. I chose not to do that and got whipped around, which didn't really make any sense. And speaking of Robinhood, it made the 50 break, missed the 50 break. The dip was to 49.40 if you go by the high of the day break that happened here at 1 o'clock. So look for that to be a bit of a support level. PMCB is holding at $8, and then Sgoc managed to average some shares in. 7 is going to be the stop. 71 is my price. It's actually at 72 by 78. So alert to SGOC. The spread is consistently now 5 or 6 pennies, despite the fact it's done 50 million shares in a $6 stock. It has a bit of a spread, which is quite interesting.
Brandon, what's up, bud?
I just saw Upstart, guys, trying to tick back higher, back above some support from that initial move back to the downside on the Fed minutes, but still 7% all-time highs for UPST today. Remember, they priced a $575 million senior convertible note offering pre-market this morning, but nothing but upside for Upstart today.
Upside for Upstart. I like it. I like it a lot. Upstart, yeah, that's been a good one. Neil's been trading that the last couple of days. I have stayed away. I don't know why. But right now, here we go. We can talk about that. Our friend here must have been trading some Tilray. He looks pretty happy today, as am I. We take that first bid here at 13.75. Bang that, ding, 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 up to 14. That was a good one. It started to come down. We did get out of the last little bit there at a 13.60 break. And then it was like, okay, we're reloaded. And now that I say that, I mean, that's my favorite one. So, oops, here it is, right there. Listen. Okay, I'm reloaded. All right, so we reloaded that up downside there. And then the next thing you know, this is us, and we're cruising because we talked about this on the show. There we go. We talked about why we like this level, and I was trying, and not trying, I did, defend all the way down here, 13. I was going to let it go to 1280, which, you know, I mean, we didn't, obviously on the way back up, I tried to hold as much as we could because I didn't want to take that much risk. Like when you're buying 1320s to hold it to 1280, that's 40 cents, right? So if you just go with a 1-to-1 ratio, there's 1320, 1330, and there's our out 1380, 1370. So the 1-to-1 works, but it has a little bit too much risk, I think. I just didn't think Tilray was going to fail off of that. They had that MedMen news where they could take over basically a large percentage of shares there. I don't think it's the whole company by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, that was coming soon. So we'll see there if it does take out this $14. We liked it, but right now we're holding a very, very small piece as we get some out at VWAP, and then we get that dream that we wanted all the way back. So we were able to make decent cash there on Tilray, and we don't have any negative names today. Pfizer is one that's sketchy because now it's all the it's back down to 50 here. Let's go long Pfizer. I do like that name here, Pfizer against 50. Let's go long.
And just going to Nvidia, I know they report earnings after market. There was a move down. I mean, of course, there was when you look at some of the price action around 2 o'clock, just remember on a Fed day, you get a volume spike and you're going to get movement in the stock. It's not that you throw out those levels, but you got to take it with a bit of a grain of salt here. I mean, technically speaking, you've still held up like a 192.5 on the day. There is a hard double top that happened at the open at 196, and I apologize in advance. Our chart's not split adjusted there, so when I go into the daily, I really have to zoom in. Oh my goodness, zoom in to be able to show you that you look at like this 203, and then downside, if we get a 185 print, which corresponds, you know, back to like 760, I mean, just above that sort of 750 mark there. Sorry, 740, I should say. That could be an interesting price. If there's any kind of a flush in Nvidia, we'd be looking for that. I just think it's not likely. It doesn't feel like it's going to do anything going into the close. The volume is really, it's picked up a little bit. Most of that had to do with the Fed. I tend to feel like there's going to be some support if it gets down into that 185 range, as I mentioned there. I wish our chart was split adjusted. And then I have this, I don't know, this double top would be interesting if you were trading it in the post market and they had like one of those like good print wicks up. You might get a fake out at that 196 level, but that could be interesting on Nvidia. Sgoc, oh, you gotta be kidding me. It was just, I got some more shares in here. Like I said, I got an average price of 70. Do some bids down around the 60 level. Just touched off of those bids and then ran back to the upside. So it's still barcoding, which is kind of annoying, but that's what we have to deal with. Vrpx, someone said they were stuck. I hope they did get out in that upward move, because that just tanked $3 here off of that 27 level. The good news is it's held up a few times off of 24, now a higher low, off of 23.5 and now off of 24, but it really needs to break out through this 27 level to have any chance at a second hurrah. And this was on volume. It had a chance to break VWAP because this was a good volume spike where it got off of those lows. I wouldn't touch it short unless I'm playing off the 30 level. That is the last halt that it had. The downward halt here was at 30.50. It reopened and then couldn't hold that 30. So if something crazy happens in Vrpx, I'd probably test out the 30 trade to the short side. The successful trade I had was in the pre-market on a parabolic move up there into that high at 39, which it clearly has not seen since. ALF getting close to the top. That's a short for me off the top.
I was trying to see where, because I did answer somebody on that Vrpx, and I don't know where that went, because I wanted to show you guys that I did talk about that 26, but it doesn't matter. Anybody following me on Twitter would see that response. Okay, there we go. So, hey, nice win so far. We didn't, I mean, whatever, I took out 10% here at 12s and then at 14s here on Pfizer. So we are long at 06.5 right now on PFE. So we do, again, we take it 3 times. So I got a decent amount of shares. So we do decide to take a little bit off there. And now we'll wait to see if we can test this 2021 area. But with that being said, I do have some offers at 16 and then again at 19 right here to see if we can't just get out around this area. And I know it's not a big winner, but remember we've talked about this on the show a couple times, and that is that as we're trading here at the close, it's very, very tough to say, okay, this is going to start to run again. Like the market makers and some of the big hedge funds and whatnot have probably already taken their positions. And if they haven't, they may wait for the last 5 or 10 minutes of the day to do anything. So a lot of the times here we've noticed since starting the show that we don't get crazy amounts of moves on a name like a Pfizer. That's why sometimes it's better to look at, those quick
or
hitters.
Scalp it.
And scalp it. And that's what we're doing. So that's sort of the point right now, is that we're trying just to scalp Pfizer. If I could take 10 cents, 20 cents, and then ultimately, I mean, if we get it back to 50-50, then that'd be great. But and I still will have some on board. So let's see if that can happen. But right now we're scalping through Pfizer, and then I'll probably just, now that if Tilray breaks this, man, 1350, then we're going to be gone, because I don't love this name. I'd always talk about marijuana names coming back into play. So I just talked to Weed Batman, and he informed me that if we did break through 1350, that you should get out. So Weed Batman is a fictitious character to which nobody has contacted him except for me. So if that makes any sense.
Or Prad.
So 1349 will be our killer spot there with Tilray.
That was pointless, me saying Prad. There he is. He's chilling. He's got his headphones on. Like, he's not that far away. He can actually hear us, Trader Prad, if he wasn't like jamming the tunes or doing whatever it was that you saw him doing just there on camera. So look, we got a question about Tesla. Like, what do I think about Tesla? I like Tesla. I just wish I had liked it enough to hold on to the long that we took for the breakout. Now, admittedly, I like the dip buy more than a breakout. And when I play these, if I don't get the dip buy and I take a breakout trade instead, far away from where I really liked it, it's always going to be a very quick in and out trade for me. That's just how it ends up being here. I didn't have this one set up for the 680 break, in my estimation, for anything more than the move into 85 to 87. And that's what I said on the show. I thought we'd go into this cluster and slow down. But the good news is that same cluster that we had a couple of days ago, that 85 has turned into support. Your problem is 700 is a thing, and we're not through 700. I would blame some of that on the whipsaw action in the futures that we just had post-Fed. So might have to wait till tomorrow for the test of 700 on Tesla, but it does feel like it's made a nice bottom at that 650. Bouncing off the 50-period moving average. But if you want to get back into that 700 to 725 range, which will probably sit there a few days if we get there, and then break back out, hopefully get to that 800 spot, it's going to have to chew through this level first. And I don't think we're getting the 700 break today. It just doesn't feel like it has the momentum to me. Doesn't mean it can't happen this week. SGOC, we'll do, I'm on this page, so I'll...
Wow.
Whatever. I was on that page, so I'm just going to hit one of those. It finally breaks that 660. I said I'd get some shares out in the 50s and then got some out there. I have another bid in front of 640, just because, check this out. Like, after it halted to the upside, failed break through 640, resistance 640, actual break at 640. So I'm covering a bunch of shares in front of 640. If it takes that out, next stop, 6 even on SGOC. I've traded this 3 times to the short side, but the best setup, and the reason I don't have a trade here is because the setup I had was after a post-halt trade. And that's a high percentage winner for me. I didn't have any ideas up here at $8. If I did, fantastic. That's the best win of the day. But if I don't see anything, then I'm just sort of averaging into the oblivion, I suppose. And that never gets anybody anywhere. You get yourself in a lot of trouble if you do that.
The oblivion, yeah, you don't want to be averaging into that. That is
Usually
for sure.
Not good.
I did want to say here, so first of all, if this is Trader Prad right here, you're called Trader Prad, right, Prad? On the chat here, because he needs to be
He's typing, but he won't talk.
He needs to be an administrator, so that's the first thing. So that everybody can know that is officially Trader Prad. So that's the first thing. And then I did want to talk one more thing. A shout out to Sterling Silver here because he said something that I think is very, very key. I must have missed it, but it was basic, and it was just that he hates trading. There it is, right there. Hey, what's up, Sterling?
I hate Tilray.
It's just that he hates Tilray trading, and so do I. So I think that when you've identified certain things that you hate, you should stay away from them, right? And so today I couldn't stay away from Tilray. It hit some key levels, and we made some money on it, so we're back there. But that's the one tip that I can give lots of tips apparently, but one key one would be that, hey, if you've noticed that you're not having a lot of success doing one thing, or not even just doing one thing, but on a specific name, then you don't have to go back to it. There's literally thousands of names. I don't need to tell you guys this because you're watching the show, but thousands of names whereby you can make money. So don't get too carried away worrying about the one or two that maybe we have on our watch list or that we're trading. I know I love Palantir, Microsoft stocks like that, so I would put a little more risk into those names, and then I don't put as much risk in names like Tilray, or for that matter of fact, any cannabis name. I don't really like trading those. They're too whippy, and I just find that you don't get the best fills, and I don't like it. So that's a good point there to bring up, and I'm glad that Sterling did mention that. And I think that that's really all that matters. And it's the same
in trading. You can't care about what you do to make money. You just care about that you make money. You know, like you can think trading a certain style is fun, but if you're no good at it, you're no good at it. So you have to be willing to do what works. We had traders on the floor when Sean and I own our own trading floor, that just would blow money. Like, they were good traders, but every time they touched BAC or some of the bank stocks, all they would do was just hemorrhage cash. These are consistently profitable traders, and you'd show them the numbers and they would still do it anyways, because you could just push a lot of shares in BAC back in the day. Like, it was so liquid, but it doesn't mean it's a good thing, guys. So do what works. Trader Prad was...
Yeah, I love how they're saying, like, Trader Prad gets no love. I mean, look,
what?
If it wasn't for us, I mean, honestly, we've chosen Trader Prad.
We give this guy so much
guys.
love, it's not even fun.
So, I mean, hello, there he is. Yo, what's up, Trader Prad? There he is. Yeah, he knows what's good. You see how he's laughing over there? But we like Trader Prad just as much as you do, and that's the important thing. So probably more. We like Trader Prad more than you do. But either way, guys, Trader Prad for the win. The only big thing that I want to say is I just want him as an administrator on the chat, so he can show up as Blue, or I don't know how we
Adam was still an administrator.
How Valeria shows up. So maybe we can work on that at some point. But hey, man,
there's Miss V.
There she is, yeah. What's up, Ms. V? She doesn't have her mic on for the closing show, but hey, Neil, this is a trading show. We're supposed to get back to trading. So
speaking of which, I just reloaded. I don't have that key on my board for whatever reason.
All right, just keep talking. I'll hit it.
Okay, so SGOC was able to get back in front of 7. So it worked once down to 650, but that 640 level is a thing apparently. So we'll jump back in here. Got 83 as an average price. Now we'll risk 20 cents. Maybe it touched more because the spread is still like 4 or 5 cents consistently. So I'll probably not get out until it's like 708 or 709. Something along those lines is certainly possible in Sgoc. And if it breaks 7 even, next stop probably at least 750. Brendan, what do you have for us, buddy?
Just noticing some of these Chinese education stocks popping back up a little bit today, guys. Some volume. Not a monster move here for EDU, but volume, the story here, about 2 or 3 times higher than it has been the past couple of days for some of these. So we've spoken a lot about how they've come down, but a little bit of a bounce here for EDU, 6%, guys.
EDU, I mean, talk about some Chinese names, DD, EDU, BABA, things like that. But I did want to talk a little bit about crypto here, as Ethereum starting to head to the downside there off that Fed minute. So I don't really know. I mean, I didn't really go over the Fed minutes, to be honest with you. To me, I mean, I'll read them tonight and we'll look over them, but I don't like to base some of my trades, and I'll show you why. I mean, just look, I think Neil might have touched on it, but when the minutes came out, it was like whipsaw back and forth, and then actually Neil had an example of a stop. I think it was Robinhood.
It was Robinhood
that got triggered there.
No need to be trading it.
Anyways, we'll figure it out, but I mean, Ethereum coming back to the downside here. We'll squeeze this a little bit and see 3,000 held the last time it touched there. So I mean, we're only $35 away. It's just, it hasn't moved that much, but you could get a retest here of 3K on Ethereum. And of course, the biggest and baddest, Cardano, still holding up at 210 right now. So that's actually, Cardano's actually up on the day, I believe. When we started the show, it was 195. So right now we're at 210 for that name. Some people are like, oh, what about Pfizer? Yeah, look. So there it is, man. I mean, there's Pfizer. Pfizer comes in, and then we take it out for about 6 or 7 pennies. Then it drops down, and then we get out on that 50 break. So it was a flat trade for me on Pfizer. I wish that we would have gone short, obviously, instead of starting to build the long. But that short there at 50, like, I'll take the long because of what Pfizer did before, and that was just ripped to the upside, not last time we touched 50, but we are touching these levels one more time here. So that, I mean, it's holding 49.65. We could play off that bottom. I think we'll do that for one more time and see if it can test 50, but if it breaks through 49.65, we're gonna get out. Let's see if Pfizer gets, I don't know, man, maybe, you know what? I might actually go the other way. What's Moderna doing? I might actually take a short through that 49.65 there. Moderna 398. It's actually battling back a little bit here, so maybe they're not one and the same, obviously. There's AMC. See, I just hit back, and it doesn't go back to my last one. But Pfizer, maybe we'll play off that bottom now, 49.65. I actually don't mind that. Weak here into the afternoon, 49.65 Pfizer. Let's test a short on that one, guys.
So on Sgoc, all of that work is essentially going to be flat because the money we made shorting it into that 640 level, when I reload, it breaks 7 even. I get out at 703, so the spread actually wasn't that big of a problem, so able to get out at 03s, but then we just give that money right back. It's looking like the volume is picking up on this move to the upside, so next stop could be that 750 level. Basically back to close to flat on PMCB, but Vrpx, I mean, like, there was one shot to get out of this thing. when we really started the show, and that was at 27 level. It's getting very, very close to the bottom. Interesting to see if it can hold this 2150. There's no huge levels to this on the downside. Like if you pull up the 15-minute chart, if it's going to break this 2150, I mean, like this could absolutely flush. But remember what happened at the end of the show on the stock yesterday? Like this thing went absolutely ham in the post market. So most of the move up, it went from 16 to 14 right at the beginning of the aftermarket, and next thing you know was right at that 22 level. So this stock will put in moves post 4 o'clock. If you have access to post market trading, there's a good place for some gains. Brendan?
Sean mentioned Pfizer there, guys. It's worth noting, as expected, we were talking about this morning a little bit. The U.S. did go ahead and say they will start recommending and offering COVID-19 booster shots starting in September. So we did see a little bit of positivity come back into some of these names. Moderna, however, not so much. Just noted, tagged 400 and turned on a dime, guys.
You say I'm losing my eyesight. I can't even see like.
Now you know how I've been like.
I don't know. I'm losing my mind, my eyesight, everything here. But whatever, man. We'll hit the siren. You might have heard that because that's another executed trade on Pfizer. And this time, man, we went short. And again, I understand that a lot of you traders, if you're under PDT or whatever, you're not going to be able to go in and out. Like I have 19, not trades, but fills on Pfizer today, right? So it does give Neil and I the flexibility to do this kind of stuff. So again, there's the short through 63 or 64. I don't know what price I have, 63 and change. So I must have hit some dark pools there, or not, and just hit a couple different levels. And then right there to the downside, we did just cash out my best out there, only 51s. Okay, so now we're at 50. So we're still holding half of this. Let's see if Pfizer can continue to fade out. And we're trying to keep this there, but we just did give up a little bit there. So right now our day is not this. Perfect, but it's close. If we just get Pfizer down a little bit, it'll be our only red stock today, and then we'll see. We traded AMC, NEO, Palantir, Tilray, and Vrpx, which is still my number one, but Palantir nicely. Whoa, there's a Palantir move to the downside. I mean, look at the NASDAQ right here, starting to come off a little bit. We just did break that 15,000 right when we started the show. That was at 2 o'clock, obviously off that Fed. No, sorry, that wasn't when we started the show, at 3 o'clock. Yeah, it's 3:30 already. So there's that break there of 15,000, and now we're starting to cruise to the downside here. So yes, sir, let's go Pfizer. You know you can do this, Pfizer. A nice little 15-penny winner here. We'll see if it can go down even further. Some levels of concern for me. We'll have to go back to yesterday. Yeah, there's not going to be much. We already cracked 49.50, so normally that's a level that I like to talk about. What is this? This 30.40s, so 49.40. So let's take another piece off right now on Pfizer for a nice little 20-cent win now. Thank you very much, Pfizer. Let's see if we can't put that feather in our cap and then return with a nice little air horn trade here. Hopefully we can touch 49s. That'd be nice on Pfizer.
Well, I mean, it would be nice for the trade. I don't want Pfizer to go down.
This gives you an opportunity to buy it.
That's true. That's a fair point. Actually, now that you mention that, I should go over to Virgin Galactic, which the stock just seems to always go up when I want to do dip buys. But anyways, it's failing to break that 25, and I know I said like probably months ago and then all week, I mean definitely at least last week, that if it broke that 25 level, gets to the lower 20s, that's the place I'd look to get more in. And then this is how many times it's tested and broken 25 in the last few days. On Friday, it then held exactly 25 on Monday. It broke and came back on Tuesday. It broke and came back, whatever. You guys can see the chart. So needless to say, at some point I just had to give up the ghost and get in at this price. I'll leave myself some room for the low 20s in the long term, but it's ridiculous, right? Like I said so many times when this was up at 35, like let it break 25 and go lower, and then it broke like 3 times and went absolutely nowhere. PCMB, which we're still sitting in. Now we have to be flat at the end of the day. Oh, it's PMCB. Well, I made that mistake so many times in the morning, and then I got good at it, and then now I'm making the mistake again. So PMCB, which looked like it was about to get right into VWAP here. I may have looked a gift horse in the mouth, coming right back towards these tops. It's the fact that it cannot break VWAP here. This could be a late breakout through 840. So the 822 short, I probably should cover it now if I can get 40 or 50 cents. Maybe that's all it wants to give me here. It could extend, but I'm sort of noticing a little bit of strength in this name, and I definitely am looking for the reversal in 840. I didn't take the reversal in Sgoc, but it looks a little bit better to me in PMCB, which is up 130%. Still on the session, which is of course crazy, but that doesn't mean it can't go further. Volume still sticking up above VWAP here.
Pfizer's starting to go down again, and I did see a question here. Bradley Taylor, I think I talked to you the other day about this with Apple, and basically said that you can get out at 150, and then if it does continue to take out new highs, you can always get back in. Or I believe I said actually was to cut your position in half on Apple. But I mean, look, I like talking about Apple, but honestly, to me, it's like an own, don't trade type of thing, and I don't ever get out of Apple. So it's been a big move down. Obviously, as the NASDAQ goes and as the market goes, Apple's going to be like basically leading the way. You know, if you don't like what the NASDAQ has coming out, and I guess the Fed minute's not great today, so we'll see about that. Apparently, there might be some more stimulus checks coming through. Like I said, I don't want to quote anything because we have to read what the deal is with that, but I mean, they don't like it, man. The NASDAQ's coming to the downside. We could talk about other names too, like Microsoft. Microsoft's still holding up okay.
Like a rock.
What is Microsoft? Yeah, Microsoft's flat. So Apple right now coming to the downside. Remember, I still think that there's tons of tailwinds for Apple. So for me, I am not worried at all about it. But let's hit the chicken dinner winner right now, and that is for our friend PFE. As now, I see you there, Pfizer. That was a good out. Like, we just hit it, and we just took a bid at 40. Okay, it ripped up to 45 there, and I thought maybe we might have got the bottom, but we did take a 40 bid there. We're short at 63. And again, this is, we try the long, basically flatten ourselves out, take 5 or 6 pennies there, then lose 5 or 6 pennies on that drop, all scheduled. And I talked about scalping before this even happened, and then now I'm rewarded with a nice little 25-cent win there on part of it. I only have 20% left. All these are nice scalps. We just took out a decent spot there. So now we only have 20% left on this Pfizer trade, and we're on our way to this kind of a day. And it's not going to happen like that every day. Really, all I'm trying to do is just stack, right? So as some of these trades come in, I'm at no LFT, and what that means for you, those of you that aren't at Day Trade the World, means I have no loss from my tops. I'm at the highest spot I've been at all day right now. We'll continue, hopefully, that. Knock on wood, and we will be looking for more trades for you. But right now, I'm watching this Pfizer. And Brendan, that news, so what I was getting at was I couldn't see the time of that Pfizer when they had that news conference. I know it's obviously not happening live,
right?
But I was just wanting to see, because to me, like, okay, they've approved more shots. It's very strange that we are getting sort of a waterfall move down here once breaking 50. But like they always say, they're right. It's buy the rumor, sell the news, Mr. Wickens.
Yeah, it wasn't specifically on Pfizer. They do have Pfizer symbol on here. But this was, remember this morning we were talking about, we were supposed to get that announcement from the White House on an additional third round of COVID-19 vaccine. So here it is. And then halfway through the morning, if you remember, the WHO came out and said, they didn't think a third round was needed at the moment, but sure enough, the U.S. government has said they will start offering COVID-19 vaccines, a third booster. September 20th is the exact date, guys.
I was going to say something about Amazon. I'll get to that in a quick second. But PMCB breaks that 40 level, so stops me out of that short that was working so well, and then triggers me into a long, snaps down on the bid, holds 810, so I'm going to get more shares there at 810 to get a better average price, and then I was back to flat. So very whippy action in some of these stocks, but guess what's red on the year? Not only closed red on the year, but is now continuing lower. Amazon is red.
Really?
Yeah, so when I heard this, I didn't believe it, so I actually went to the chart and was like, yeah, give me a break. And then I looked at it, it's like, okay, 32.75.
Oh, it's because it barcoded for so long.
Exactly, so it barcoded so long, now it's turning into red territory. If this thing, if there is a pullback into like 3,000, because I thought 3,200 was a good place to start some shares if you weren't already in it, but if you are already in it, then I'll go ahead and say that if it gets anywhere close to 3,000, give me a break. Like, we're off 5 bills from the top. Actually, check that. We're off 550 from the top on Amazon right now, and that seems like a pretty solid value. Anyways, it's just something I noticed. PCMB and these stocks, PMCB, oh my goodness, Neil.
Maybe
PMCB. Yeah. Honestly, I cannot get that one straight today. This is what I mean by
22 more minutes.
This is what I mean by whippy action. Like, the second I'm getting that reversal into the long, so I got out of my short and got a few shares long here at that 840 level, I was instantly staring at right in this barcode level again at 8 even. So I'm not taking any breakouts on any of these 3 names, whether it's Vrpx or PMCB or Sgoc for the rest of the day. I'm only taking consolidations because as good as this trade is right now, I could have had all of it at $8. And now I don't want to look, not looking at gifts. Anyways, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. This is a roundabout way of complaining over the fact that I got an 840 long and it just went to $9. But it was ridiculous. The second 840 triggered, you could have been buying a second later. You were buying in front of a refresher at 810. So, I mean, just be patient. These are very, very whippy stocks right now. And the reason why I'm selling into $9, guys, like, give me a break. This is that cluster post-halt right here at 885 with a 915 top. So if you've been watching me trade on breakouts long on these stocks with no news or parabolic movers, I'm always looking to scalp. And if there's a level like this coming up, I am going to sell in front of it 10 times out of 10. And if it goes another $1, fair enough. That's just not the way that I trade when I take a breakout like this. So I'm complaining about a winning trade, but I'm complaining because it could have been better. If this stock tests 10 even, it made a hard top at 984 when I thought 10 might be the top. That's the reason I missed it, because it didn't quite get there. Still has to chew through 9 first. So PMCB, nice trade there, but it could have been a heck of a lot better if I'd been patient waiting on the bid for that cluster.
Okay. So good talk there. And I mean, look, sometimes those winners come, and that's a fantastic way to maybe not end the show, but finish off with some nice wins. And we're doing the same thing right now with Pfizer. As here we go, man, 25 cents in the money off this short. And again, like, all we did was we had to talk ourselves into this trade. And like, normally I'd like to go long. And again, for either one of us, it doesn't really matter. Neil has a reputation of shorting things. But again, you just saw a nice long win. And here I go with almost the opposite reputation to long everything. And then here's a nice short on Pfizer. So a lot of it is just trade what you see. And sometimes we see different things. And right now, Pfizer, nice little short for me here, down to 36. We are now obviously positive on Pfizer today. So pigs get slaughtered as we head into the close. So let's see if this can continue, man. Downside right now, 49.38. May just take one more piece off here because we just did that. Pigs get slaughtered. So 25 cents. Let's put that in our pocket. And then we'll wait to see the last. I did put a bid down near 49.25 just because I trade around the quarters, but I should just take this 25 cents right now. Give it to him, Brendan.
Another one to look at, guys. We were talking about that EDU, some of the Chinese stocks bouncing back a little bit today. XPeng just noted 5.25% today, so another bounce back day for this one. Struggling here at 40, but decent amount of volume still left in the day for XPEV.
Good look there on XPeng. Thank you very much for reminding there. I think it was Holly Fass.
What's up, Holly Fass?
What up, Holly Fass? Look, when I said Alpha's getting towards the top, I kind of mean this recent high that it put in at 3 o'clock. I know in the pre-market this was trading up at $11, but you know, for now we'll go with where the real volume was at this $11.75 as it gets into that price range. Like, that's where the reason I'm saying that is because when I said I would short it off the top, my out is going to be at that. Whoops. Why did I just change the
Hey-o.
Give me a break. My stop is going to be at that 11.75, not the high of the day, which sits at 11.25. That's pre-market action, and it's not those levels matter. Those would have mattered if I was trading this, you know, at 7:30, if it had made a pop into that price at 8:30 or at 9 o'clock, you know. But once you've traded and all the volume has come in, sort of in a new range here, then I'm going to go with the recent high. If it consolidates here, oh man, I just tried to get like mid-60s. Forget it. I'll just hit the bid at 59 to get into it. And the stop, like I said, give it to that 3/4 mark. If it goes past it, fair enough. Maybe I'd look at that pre-market high as a secondary trade. But for now, working off the high you saw at 3 p.m. Dip buy off 10 would have looked pretty good, but again, pretty choppy action down there. One bar, maybe when it consolidated, you could have gotten it at like 10-20. I hope somebody did that because that's a pretty sexy looking trade.
All right, let's go. I see Ronnie here. I see everybody talking about this. I'm going to do it for you, Valeria, right now. So I like Trader Pratt. I like Miss V as well. But we need to get a little bit more likes than this, guys. Over 2,100 people watching. We've been hitting these winners for you. We're trading everything. We're taking your questions. We are 100% free. And we are the best damn trading show on YouTube, period. And I stand by that. And I don't have any problem saying that. So let's get this to 500. There it is, Valeria. Already 4. We'll get to 5 very, very soon. I mean, thank you so much for that. Ms. V works super hard on the chat, guys, and that's that. And if you can't hit the like, hit the share, hit everything you possibly can. Valeria, there you go. There's 500 already. So the party has just started for you, Ms. V, and there you go, up to 500. Let's get to 1,000. Why not? Maybe we could test that 1,000. And all we're doing is trying to get that YouTube algorithm to be like, wow, there's lots of people that like this show. So thank you so much for that. And there it is, man. Yes, sure. We'll floss it off. Thank you so much. Now 700 likes right there. So we just doubled the likes there in about 1 minute. So thank you to Ronnie. Thank you to everybody on the chat for bringing that up to us. And there we go. I just got out of something. Oh, no, nothing. I was waiting about that Pfizer. It did go all the way back to the upside. We did right now just take out our last, well, again, we had 20% left, so now we only have 10%. We just took a bid there at 40 when we were talking about that. We were waiting for 49. Let's see, the market's now coming back. I can't see that, hold on a second. The market's coming back up a little bit there. I have a bid at 49 flat for Pfizer, so we'll see if it can get back to the downside and print us there, and then we'll celebrate that. But good so far. Thank you so much, guys. 800 likes. We just got a big increase there from 300 to 800 there, Ms. V. Almost tripled the likes in under a minute. Thank you so much, guys.
Big 500 bounce. Thank you, guys. Much appreciated. And if you're trading that PMCB, I said it right for the first time there. Thank you guys about that. I mean, I'm like 1 for 27 on the day, so it's not. I shouldn't be celebrating the fact that I said a ticker right. I can read it here on my chart. But this is breaking back towards that 9. There was a refresher at 9 even that just got taken out, but there's also offers, and I can quickly show you here. There's been some stacked offers at 15s, then some here at 20. So there is something that it has to chew through to extend higher. Now, I'm not taking that long break. I told you, I'm hunting for a short if it goes to that 10 even area. The breakout for me long was in this level here with only 15 minutes to go. Taking a long break this high, I don't love it. It's not the way that I would like to make a trade. And then of course, Alf doing absolutely nothing. I hit the bid at 59 and it just comes right back. So the bid came back not the very next day, the very next second. And if it stopped me out at 15.75, we'll lose about 20 pennies on that max. But there's no way I wouldn't let my stop get me out there. And that Vrpx, yeah, it's continuing to slowly grind to the downside. There goes Alf, so we'll take a hit on ALF, and I'll give it this one. That's what you get, Alf. But that Vrpx, if it breaks the bottom, just to clarify, because someone asked this, yesterday it ran post-market. What I was getting at was, even if it breaks this 21, it's not moving a heck of a lot. If it breaks that 21, you could see a big push. I mean, down is what I was sort of talking about here. In the aftermarket, the stock moved a ton after hours, including an initial $2 drop from 16 to 14, and then a run up to 16. And then you got a hard rejection after like 39s. That was a ridiculous price this morning. So this stock might not have as much of a bid. Sometimes you get those runners after market, but usually it looks a little bit stronger than this when you get them. And there goes Alf. Good thing we got it at 75 because it's already at 11.
My hero.
I mean, there goes Pfizer one more time down to the 30s. So Pfizer did it just touch 16 there? Maybe it did. I don't know. It completely crashed there, Pfizer. We are going to have the imbalances coming out soon, so that's still 3 minutes away. I don't know, but Pfizer, a nice move downside there. We'll see. Yeah, I don't need to cover it now. I'm still waiting for 49 even, so we'll see if the imbalances come out. I believe I heard Brendan. What's up?
Yeah, I was going to mention, guys, the other half of that ALF news from today is Grove Incorporated. So they entered a strategic partnership here on the AI side of things with Alphi, so GRVI going at the same time here.
All right. I do want Trader Pratt, if you're hearing me, which I know you are, to get that administrative access here because you need to show up so everybody can see it because I can't even sometimes see what Trader Pratt is talking about on here. But yeah, the Memes and Movers show won't be back tomorrow, but should be back soon.
More work got done today.
We'll leave it at that. We want the best possible production for you. So nothing to do with Pratt or Valeria. Obviously, they're both here. You've seen some sneak peeks of Trader Pratt. I don't know why we keep showing it, but sometimes we do.
It's fun.
And that's fun. So why not? Okay, so that's that. Right now, we are waiting for the imbalances. Let's check out. We did get out a Tilray there. Good thing. Look at this, guys. Wow. I got to make sure I don't have any stop orders here, which I don't, so thank God. Okay, there's Tilray once it broke through 1350. Talked about this, and again, I talked about it with Sterling Silver and all of you guys on there, and some of you agreed. And it's just like, once a stock starts moving and it's just like, it's not doing what you think, best thing to do is get out of it, especially if you know that it's generally a stock that you don't have a great, I mean, I do have good reads on Tilray. It's just a lot of the time it's like I get a little too excited about it, and bigger winners will turn into bigger losers. So right there, we will get out again at 1350 break and just following our rules there. So that's what we're doing now with TLRY. Tilray, it's out and it's right back in here. Normally, this is what I'm talking about. Like if we had the rest of the day to go, I think this is a good spot to load back in, but we don't. So I'm going to hold off on getting any more Tilray shares here. I think this is a good bouncing spot. I still like yesterday's bottoms here of 1280, and I don't think that needs to be retested because it still is good news, but only up 1.45%. Let's stay away from Tilray with only a minute to go before you get to see these imbalances.
Every time you see only a minute to go, I look at my clock. I'm like, is it 3:59? It's 349, but this is like I just finished saying the reason why I'm going to stop out at 1175 is this recent high, and then if it breaks towards the pre-market high, I'll use that for a short. Yeah, well, it tries to break out 11, goes to like 1107, rejects it. I short 98 on the way back in, and then we already make that money back on ALF. So there you go. We're not eating cats, but we can make some winning trades on ALF anyways. And if you don't get that reference, then take some time out of your day to watch some really fantastic 80s programming, whether it's ALF, Harry and the Hendersons, which you guys are probably like, what the heck is Neil talking about? I saw that movie in the theater and watched the TV show, which is pretty sad because it's awful. In a great way, though, but ALF is a great show. If it pulls back any further, there's no way I'm not taking the rest of this out in front of 1065. And you ask, why would you only be looking to get like 35 pennies out of it? Because it's 350, and we have to be flat at the end of the day. So this is not thinking it's going to be a home run. It's really, if I can get that 98 short, the recent high was at 1007, so I'm only risking 10 cents. Plus a penny or two of slippage. The fact that you can get 20 to 30 on it is good enough for me at this particular time of day. So let's go, ALF. Made it back. Brendo, what's up?
We are, guys, still looking at a little bit of earnings to get through this tonight specifically, but there are a few that are on this list that we've discussed today. A few of those have been actually quite good today as far as trading opportunities are concerned. So let's have a look. Here comes earnings for tonight and tomorrow morning.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Robinhood's there, Nvidia's there. I keep wanting to take Hood off of that 50 level. So we're going to be right back into there. We're not going to do anything right now on Robinhood, but that's going to come to play here tomorrow. It's been bouncing around. I mean, watch out for that. I don't even know what kind of numbers to expect from Robinhood. And then, of course, Nvidia. We will definitely look at that. I'm a big holder of that stock, as well as all semis. So not all of them, but AMD and Nvidia, only two, and then the SMH. So right now, we'll watch out for that. I mean, what is Nvidia doing today? It's probably down, obviously, as the NASDAQ's down 1%. Ooh, wow, 190, okay. Hello, Nvidia, was not even expecting that one. That's the daily chart. We're almost, oh yeah, that's right. I can't look at the daily on Nvidia because of the split reverse, but this is what I mean. That's why I go, ooh, like I thought it was like 195, 196 this morning, and then this has not been a good afternoon. We saw Apple give back, and now we're seeing Nvidia give back here. So, hey man, this could be a good one. I'm not gonna make a call on this. Normally, a lot of you are looking for me to make a call on something, and honestly, Nvidia, I mean, I like it. I like the semis, and I think it's obviously the future, so I'm not selling anything no matter what happens on earnings. I'm actually looking to pick up some on dips. You know that we did empty out a little bit on AMD here in the teens, and then my best out on AMD was 119.50 that we tweeted out as well. So when I'm making moves, I'll let you guys know, but right now, I'm still a big holder in AMD and in Nvidia, and we're gonna hold out no matter what happens on earnings.
And Robinhood, just so you guys know, like first report is usually a pretty big one. It is worth noting. I know like you're going to see the downward trend that it's in. I know it's pulled back from 60 all the way to 46. But if you kind of, if you go all the way back, this is still up significantly. Remember, this stock got beaten up for a few days. Like we took the opening print long on Robinhood, and then I was a seller immediately after that. The next few days I was making money selling, and then we were selling at that 40 level, and then it finally went parabolic in meme stock status. It's well above all of those levels right now with that 46. So even on a disappointing print, this has, I mean, if it gets anywhere back towards that 40, like don't forget, that IPO range that they originally had of 38 to 42 was a great range to be played in. That's going to be supportive if this dips down to that price. And I'd almost like to see it trade down there because I think that'd be a fantastic opportunity. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. This could always just jailbreak to the upside. And really, there's no, like, I can't sit there and say I know what to expect when they come for the first public report here, but if they do dip down to that 38 to 42 level, remember that was key when it was trading in the first few days. So I would expect it to be support on the way back in. With only 5 minutes to go, I might have jinxed myself just a little bit on ALF as it's now barcoding around 80 to 85. So might have to take this one out at break even if I can't get it down in the 70s again in the next couple of minutes here.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go with source here, and just so you guys can see, because I'm just fixing up the locator right now, so we can, there it goes. Okay, good, perfect. Whoops, just clicked on the wrong one there, but okay, PBR, Zynga, T Ford with a sell today. Ooh, Ford back to 13. That's nice for anybody that's been trying to defend their Ford positions. Oracle short as well right here. Apple with a sell down to 146 again. I don't see Pfizer on here. There's Intel with a sell. I mean, everything today. Let's stop talking about the sells. They're all sells. Let's talk about the buys. U.S. Steel makes sense there. I talked about Nucor and how much I like that position as well. So U.S. Steel, though coming off a little bit today, still up 4%. So that's
30
nice.
level, man.
Yeah, 30 level is good. And that's about it, man. TTM there as well. What is TTM? Tata Motors to the upside there with a bid. And then other than that, man, not much else here. We're looking for M's. So, I missed Microsoft. Look at that fail right there. So 350 comes and it just basically to the downside. So, wow, the market cracking right now. And so are some of these big high flyers. But I still love you, Softy.
And just so you guys know, like when the last time I talked about US Steel at 26, I said good place to trim at 30, and there's an obvious reason for that. Look at the break at 10, and remember, like it was a break at 20 and a dip at 20 that I liked. Well, I mean, if you follow that pattern, like 30, and then it makes a top here exactly at 30 in May. Yeah, so rejecting a 30 break in today. When you think all systems go to the positive side, I think at some point it has a decent shot to break out of this level. When you look for places to take profit, every now and then it is ridiculously obvious. I'm just going to go ahead and get on the bid in the mid 80s and maybe just take this out. If I can only get 85s, we're under 5 minutes to go and it has to be flat anyway, so I don't think Alf wants to do much of anything except sit here and tease me a little bit in this range. I thought it was flushing at least down back into this like 70 level, if not like 65s, but it's holding the top. So Alf finishing the day very, very strong here. Just covered the last of it at 85s. We're at least able to make that money back. And sometimes, even if you have a bias on a stock and you think it can be a short in front of a high of the day, that doesn't mean it doesn't make sense to get in once off a level like this and then get in again on a failure. At least that way you're not averaging in the whole way. And if you do that, you'd need the retracement to come all the way down to like probably like 65. And when it doesn't make that move, you can't be profitable if you're averaging the whole way. Every now and then, if you can, taking a couple of shots with a couple of stops is a way to go about doing it in a disciplined fashion. Only 4 minutes to go. Make sure you tune in for the trade of the day right at 4 o'clock. You guys get moved right over into it. It's a good one from Sean. And as we've been saying, always tune in the mornings. Memes and movers will come back at some point, but it's still on that temporary hiatus. Although Prad will make these random appearances on our show whenever Lucas feels like it.
I like that temporary hiatus. And there we go. We get out of our Pfizer to dance it off today. And again, 180 or so fills today. Lots of money. Not lots of money. I mean, whatever, who cares about that? But lots of good trades, and I hope you can follow. We go today, we conclude it right now, barbecuing up the perfect day. So happy to do that. I mean, I wish, for some reason I thought it was Thursday, but it's only Wednesday, so it's the hump day right now. And I was going to say, the only thing would be better on today would be Thursday night football, of course, but it also
I don't even know who the opening game is.
It also has to be Thursday for that to happen. Okay, shout out. Opening day I think is my guys. I think
Packers on opening day?
Is it Packers Cowboys or something?
I should just look it up.
Packers Tampa. It's something. Oh no. It might be Tampa versus Dallas. That's maybe what it was. And I was pissed off that it wasn't the Packers. Okay, best day this year. There we go. Thank you, the Monkey Shiner. And that's what we're talking about. So we hit that for you, Monkey Shiner. And that's what it's all about, man. Thank you for the $20 super chat. And if it's your best day on the summertime, that's good.
That's awesome.
And, that means you're learning a lot, hopefully, not just from us, but from yourself. And we could take all the credit, but it doesn't matter because the credit belongs to you guys out there because you're the ones hitting the keys. And I mean, that's really what it's all about. Thank you for watching. And thank you for that super chat. The Monkey, was it? Well, I don't want to pronounce it wrong. I think it was Monkey Shiner.
It is Monkey Shiner.
Yeah, the Monkey Shiner. Monkey Shiner. Thank you so much.
Great name, obviously, as well. And it's Cowboys Bucks.
That's what it was, right? Cowboys Bucks.
So I guess I have to cheer for Tom Brady. I don't like doing that.
No, I mean, I have Dak Prescott, I have Amari Cooper, which you gave me, so...
I don't like the Cowboys. I don't like the Cowboys.
Right, so okay. I'll be happy.
Dallas is a great city, by the way. I love Dallas. That should be
a good game. I mean, as long as Dak stays healthy, I think Cowboys, that offense with CeeDee Lamb and everything is crazy. Okay, 49, there goes Palantir, there goes Pfizer to the downside there. If you want to swing something and you think the market's going to battle back, I just assumed Palantir went down a lot, but it didn't. So I was going to say if Palantir retraced sub 25, maybe that's worth taking a shot at that. But I never like to recommend swinging like things into earnings. So that's why I would never do that. Oh, you are welcome, Mitchell Williams. There it is. We'll do another one right there.
Mitch Williams, eh?
Yeah, Mitch Williams there, the closer for Philly, but he's coming in right here. Thank you, Mitchell Williams, VRPX. Hey, man, that was my biggest trade of the day today. I hit that for $8 a couple times, so thank you, Mitchell, for that. That $50 does mean a lot. Thank you for the super chats. Big things going. And because of those super chats, you know what we're going to do, man? We're going to get Valeria to ring the bell here today for you. So everybody likes that. Super chat's coming. Here comes Valeria to ring the bell in just over 30 seconds. Thank you guys for watching and for enjoying the show.
Absolutely. I mean, the market down, it's holding that 1%, still falling. There was a 4 billion sell imbalance overall, net sell imbalance, and that's taking the market a little bit.
I want to find Valeria Batman.
Miss V is on. Hit it, because the countdown's coming.
I can't. There it is, Valeria Batman. There we go. Okay, now hit the countdown.
If you hit 2 at the same time, it's like crossing the streams in Ghostbusters, like the stream
you
that
never
can't
want
handle
to cross the streams, my friend.
Never cross the
Okay, there we go. 10 seconds left to go. Who cares about Ghostbusters? There's other reasons.
3.
No, I love Ghostbusters. 2
and 1. Ring
there
it.
we go. There we go.
I didn't catch the beat.
A little bit of some beats right there. I don't know what she was doing there. I think that was some Drake. But thank you so much. Oh, Donda's coming. Connie answered that question the 26th. That's when Donda's coming. But I did want to say, I never saw the Ghostbusters 3, the all-female cast. Did not watch that, but I do watch my kids love Ghostbusters, so that might be something that we will watch. Now that they're not scared of it, they were scared of ghosts before, but then kids see ghosts. Oh, there's another reference to Kanye.
You know what actually works? We have these. I put paper plates that write "No ghosts or witches in the house," and I tape them to the doors, and that works for my daughter. She's like,
okay, I don't mind.
We're safe now, and the paper plates are cheap, right?
Right.
Cost nothing.
Makes sense to me. Brendo, how did the day finish? I don't think very well.
Yeah, a little bit different than the past couple of guys. We've seen buyers come in at the end of the day, the past couple, and lift it back up. Not the case today. We closed basically on the lows for the S&P. Neil was saying there, 4 billion total to sell at 350. NASDAQ 1.02 to the downside, 0.8 for the Dow. So let's see. Let's see what tomorrow brings, but pretty negative right across the board.
Yeah, I mean, this is what's going to happen every now and then. You get post-meeting, and then you get that downward push. And that imbalance, like maybe pushing it a little bit further to the downside, but I think there's going to be some opportunities in the next few days here. It was a fantastic trading day. Stick around for trade of the day. That VRPX has not broken the low, but it ends pretty weak here. At least it's above that 21 support.
What's up, Russell Jackson? I see the bacon flying around. I want to give a big shout out to a new member, Humberto Salinas. Thank you so much for coming through as well and being a member, for supporting the show. Look, guys, it's $5 a month. If you're not a member, please become one. And if you don't, that's fine as well. We do tend to answer a couple questions more from members, but that's okay. We'll try to do our best job that we can. Otherwise, Ghostbusters is trash. That's the 2016 one. Maybe that's the one I didn't see. Obviously, that's the one I didn't see.
It's pretty bad.
We're old school, man.
It's pretty bad.
we are real old school. Like,
I was trying not to say,
I like E.T. and stuff like that.
I love E.T. I was trying not to say anything harsh, but I thought it was pretty bad, despite some pretty good comedians.
So maybe not worth watching is what you're saying.
Yeah, the writing.
I like Luca. If you guys haven't seen Luca, the new Pixar movie, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it. I want to watch it with my daughter. It's like, but I don't know. She keeps wanting to watch something else, man. Like she's like, all I watch is Paw Patrol, man. Like I can't convince her to watch anything else. What do you want me to do? You know that phase. You can't beat the Paw Patrol phase. Understand that.
Man. I beat that phase with a stick, bro. But nah, yeah, you're right.
They got
Paw Patrol is huge. Muddy Puddles. Remember that one. So, okay, guys, look, we could keep talking forever, but again, someone put 14 hours and 30 minutes till the next show. And if it was up to us, we probably would never stop. So let's wrap this thing up right now. Say thank you to everybody. Thank you to the man, the myth, the legend, man. He's right over there. It's Lucas on the board. Brendan for sure, but I did want to say thank you to Lucas on the board there. Ran the whole afternoon show by himself. So thank you so much, and did deal with even those issues that we were having like a boss. Thank you to Trader Brad. Thank you to Valeria as well for the chat, obviously. And thank you to Brendan, who's right in the middle there. Thank you so much. Thank you to Hamilton with the $5 super chat as well. So for all of us here at Trader TV Live, eventually I'll stop talking, and that will be right now. See ya.
See you guys. Go.